Dave and I met at Mardi Gras. We had sex on the first night.
As we're leaving that dinner, you come up to me and you say, I have some Molly.
No.
It was one of the first times.
And he's just on one knee in a silver Zorro mask with a box, not a ring box. And I truly was like, ah! Like, and he just goes, will you marry me? And I was like, what?
There are a lot of strange relationships in Hollywood. We talk about them here on this channel, but today we're diving into Dave Franco's and Alison Brie's weird marriage. One thing I love about Hollywood couples is that they always have their good PR stories ready to go to explain away why they are together. I don't know why they didn't refine theirs a little bit more. They met in 2011 in New Orleans. Some friends introduced them, and it looks like on their first night they got intimate, they drank a lot, and they had a three-way with a little bit of Molly, some drugs too, some love drugs to really bring them together. Also, like TMI, I guess people just don't act professional anymore, or at least this is considered professional in Hollywood. Here's a clip of Alison talking to Drew Barrymore.
I think I've told you that Dave and I met at Mardi Gras together. So maybe you can deduce whether or not we had sex on the first night. I've always been an advocate of it, you know, like, because you want to kind of know what you're getting into. Like, don't you want to know if you have that chemistry with someone?
I think that's the woman's
right
point,
away.
is like, do you want to know right out of the gate what you are like?
Oh gosh, something about Drew drives me a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
And look what it led to, a very happy, prolific, beautiful union. You and your husband are a phenomenal couple.
Drew Barrymore is that type that like flings in and out. Like, I don't understand how they must have a really good microphone system, because she's flailing around, she's throwing her knees up, she's touching other people, got a lot of fabric moving. I don't understand how they produce a show with her squirming around for an hour. Like, you are stressing me out. It looks like her friend Jules was also keen on trying to get these two together, so it's not as spontaneous as they want us to believe. Dave Franco was quoted saying that he was enthusiastic about meeting her, spending the next 2 days getting high and sleeping together. Quote, it was 48 hours of drugs and sex and a lot of making out. Here's a clip of these two lovebirds talking about how they first met.
As we're leaving that dinner, you come up to me and you say, I have some Molly.
No, this is at the bar. This is at the bar. It's not on the way.
We did it at the next bar. That was the next bar, not at dinner though.
And
We talked about Molly at dinner.
And I said, I have some Molly, and I think we should split it and have a great night together.
This part is correct. If it
Like,
wasn't my first time taking Molly, it was one of the first times. And
Wow, so she really got him on that first time. That vulnerability. She's gonna make him fall in love with her.
the rest of the night, we were locked.
Face locked. Oh yeah, we have some photo evidence of that.
And that's the end of the question.
You gotta appreciate if someone wants something, they go out and get it, and when they win, I mean, props to you, girl. Now, back in 2011, about 3 months into their relationship, Alison throws Dave a surprise birthday party. I feel like that's one of the sweetest things you could do in a relationship for someone, especially me, because I know what everyone's doing at all times, so there's really no surprising me. Though this was a big wake-up call because Dave wasn't too fond of it. He thought it was very sweet, but the guest list got a little out of control. If you know me, you know I'm a pretty private person, and I don't like to be the center of attention, so he said he freaked out. Dave then asked Alison to get everyone to leave. Quote, Alison and I still talk about if we could survive my surprise party, we can survive anything. Here's a clip of Dave's appearance on Jimmy Fallon.
When we first started dating, my birthday came up like 3 months into the relationship, and she decided to throw me a surprise party, which was very sweet. She put a lot of effort into it. But the guest list, it got a little out of control, where, like, you know, my manager's assistant's sister's best friend was there, and, like, if you know me, I'm a pretty private person, and I don't like to be the center of attention, and so I freaked out, and to alleviate my anxiety, I decided to consume a weed cookie, and it had the opposite effect, where I ran downstairs and I had the first panic attack of my life. And so I'm downstairs, I'm telling Alison, get everyone out of here.
So imagine this, you're out grabbing a coffee, maybe running a quick errand, and then out of nowhere, bam, you're in a car accident, and now you've got medical bills adding up like a bad to-do list. And no surprise, the insurance company is giving you the runaround. It's like, really, can I catch a break? Sadly, this happens way too often. You've got these firms that promise you the world and leave you buried in paperwork and stuck with those low ball settlements. That's not right, but it doesn't have to be your story. Enter Morgan and Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. These guys are like the Avengers of legal help. With over 1,000 attorneys and offices in each state, they've got the muscle to take on big insurance companies and fight for you. And let me tell you, they don't mess around. Just this year, they locked in a $26 million settlement in Philly, 40 times the insurance offer. So clearly Morgan & Morgan is the firm you want fighting for you. Plus, it's super easy, no appointments, no stuffy meetings. You could submit everything they need right on your phone, and it doesn't cost you a dime unless you win. So if you've been injured or you know somebody, don't wait. You can go to forthepeople.com/Sloan, or you could check out my link in the description below. Remember, it's all free unless you win. Morgan & Morgan has your back because they're for the people. Thank you for sponsoring this video and enjoy. Despite the surprise birthday from hell, their relationship continued, all the way to this really weird proposal back in 2015 during a trip to Big Sur. He appeared on the Late Late Show with James Corden, and he explained how it all went down, that he proposed to Alison using a $10 vintage ring and a Mardi Gras mask that she had worn during their first night meeting. Basically, he said that he wanted to use this mask because it was something special to them. I don't quite understand why he would choose a $10 ring. You guys know he has money. Dave decided at the last minute to buy a placeholder ring, knowing that Alison would want to choose her own engagement ring, so I guess it's pretty considerate. But as he got down on one knee, it didn't go as smoothly as he hoped. He said, "I'm wearing the mask, holding up the ring, and it had been 5 years. She couldn't place the mask. She didn't know what it was." Rather than being touched, the proposal left Alison completely baffled. She recounted her shock in a sit-down interview. So essentially, he held on to this mask from their first night of being together because it meant so much to him. Now, of course, she remembers their Molly-fueled bender, but she doesn't remember this mask, and it doesn't have any meaning to her. So a big fail on Dave's part.
And he's just on one knee in a silver Zorro mask with a box, not a ring box. I turn around to a young Zorro on one knee with a giant pink box, and I truly was like, ah! And he just goes, "Will you marry me?" And I was like, what? From the day we met each other, there were no games, you know? It was like, I really like you. I like you too. And every day since then, I'm just like, God, I'm in love with you. He's like, I love you too. That one night stand from Mardi Gras that I've been with for a decade.
Although their engagement may have flopped, they ended up getting married. 2 years after the engagement, they got married. Alison never actually thought she would get married. She never considered it until meeting Dave, saying that marriage never really interested her. So I guess the small intimate wedding worked out for the best. She claims that she's not a fan of marriage because her parents split when she was just 5 years old, admitting that she would rather focus on her career and acting than getting married and having children, saying, "I've never been the girl who's planning my dream wedding." Probably because she watched her mother and her father go through a difficult divorce, and that's got to be traumatizing. I know a lot of people come from divorced households, and it affects people in different ways.
I think the fact that we had been together so long, we had been together 5 years when we got married and already had such a strong foundation between us. So, I mean, that's the key, I think, being sweet and loving to each other every day and kind of not getting caught up in all of this stuff is important.
Now, when I see two actors together, I can't help but to think about how a lot of them end up. They split up, they divorce because one of them gets hired for a movie, they go off to a shoot, they fall in love with their co-star, and then it's like a new chapter. They just completely moved on. We see it happen over and over again. Ariana Grande was our last perpetrator, I think. There's probably been more since then. But it looks like these two don't mind, especially when it comes to love scenes. They did actually team up for a project, Somebody I Used to Know, in which Alison starred in and Dave co-wrote. It looks like he worked as the director, and this could tear a relationship apart, but I think because they were together in it kind of helped them. But it seems like they were able to work through it, because while he was a director there, he was not the lead male role, and there were love scenes in which he had to sit there and watch his wife get intimate with another man. I mean, granted, it's acting, but that's a lot to take on. Yet these people seem unfazed.
You know, filming intimate scenes, knowing that your husband is behind the camera with somebody else. So, and I never thought that. Was there any kind of apprehension too on the part of Jay Ellis, your on-screen love interest?
You know, if there was, he didn't say anything to me about it. So I'm glad. I mean, yeah, as I said to Kelly, it's like, It doesn't make Dave and I uncomfortable. We've worked together enough.
Dave Franco was asked what he learned about his wife while working together, and he said, "We learned that Alison should not be on set while I'm having sex scenes with other women." So maybe Dave is cool watching his woman get down with other men, but it's not cool, vice versa. Alison did reply saying that she did leave for those. She did, in fact, walk away, but saying it was still wonderful to work together. They had another project together in 2017 titled The Little Hours. Dave had to film a makeout scene with 2 other actors aside from Alison, which she found surprisingly hot. Alison and Dave understand that that's part of their jobs, and it's not actually that weird. Alison stressed to Jezebel. It was something like this: because it's our baby that we made together, I think our first priority is always just the movie.
The second movie that we did together ever as actors was Jeff Baina's The Little Hours.
Yeah.
And in that movie, Dave has makeout or sex scenes with like 3 other actresses and me. So I just feel like that was the ripping of the Band-Aid, you know what I mean? Where it was like, oh, right. I've realized that it sounds wild, but we are actors. This is our job.
Yeah.
It's actually not that weird. And with something like this, because it's our baby that we made together, I think our first priority is always just the movie. Does the scene feel right and good? Like, we don't want my romantic scenes with Jay to play awkwardly or strangely in any way.
Now, as we all know, this couple has not been shy about their drug use. It seems like everyone in Los Angeles is on drugs, but supposedly they took some things for a movie titled The Rental. As part of their experiment for this movie to figure out their characters, Dave captured clips of Alison dancing around their hotel room all night while under the influence of drugs. He said it was pretty informative. They considered showing the footage to other cast members of The Rental to help inform their own performances, but it turned out that all of them had tried using Molly before, so they didn't really need to do this experiment. It was a strange but overall fun experience for the celebrity pair. Dave said, if anything, it reminded her of how happy she is on Molly and how much she loves to dance, which we incorporated in the film. One cute aspect of their relationship is that despite they don't want children, they still have some love in their home because they do have some cats. Comment below, do you guys have cats? Are you a cat person or a dog person? So Dave likes cats, and before they even moved in together, the cats moved into Alison's home. Alison revealed they have a designated room for their cats where they keep their collection of cat paintings and other pet-related items. She said there are children, which I totally get. I mean, as having a dog, that's my baby.
I will say I feel like every day is maybe Valentine's Day for our cat in our household because we're always just, I love you.
You're a big cat person, though. You love
We
cats.
are like major cat people.
Okay.
Our favorite thing is to triple spoon with our cat. So it's like Dave, then me,
Is that a
then the
painting?
cat. Oh yes, well, my facialist, Biba D'Souza, she's like an amateur pet portraitist, and she painted our cats. There's Harry.
Alison says it's great because I don't have to worry about when I should get pregnant between seasons while we're shooting the show. I don't think about it every day. And she's talking about the show Glow that was on Netflix. Comment below, did you guys watch that? No, it seems like these two actually are a perfect match. I mean, I can't imagine anyone else for Dave or for Alison. They're both kind of quirky and cringe in their own way. I liked looking into their relationship, and if you guys have any other celebrities you want me to do a deep dive into their relationship, comment below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in a new one soon. Bye guys.